Hold on a minute.
And the ability to vote. Rep. Lewis went through some very trying times back in 1965 to help remove barriers and obstacles. Now it's up to us to continue to make progress, moving forward until we see the results that we deem feasible and appropriate. We pay taxes, therefore voting is a right and privilege and should be done without any bias. We need full transparency, fair measures, restoration, and voting reform. If possible, year-round engagement to ensure that the message is being conveyed that democracy should be first and foremost on every elected official's agenda. All right, give it up for that. Let's demand for the People Act, the John.
I'm Dr. Gena Ross, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Missouri. I'm good trouble because people are my first priority. I will stay true to all people as I stay true to myself. I'm unbossed, unbought, and unbiased, paving the way for change. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or go to my website, rossforussenate.com. We're better together, building a better tomorrow beginning today. Business as usual is no longer acceptable, and feel free to make a contribution. No dollar amount is too small. Thank you very much.
That'll be you, that'll be me, and that'll be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a liberty in Christ. I am.
Well, welcome. Woo, today is the day.
Yes, it is.
The day, the big day for voting. It's hot outside.
Yeah.
Doc, are you there? Okay, well, we're on the bridge. Yeah, we're on the bridge, and we have Nathan on the bridge, and we just did the intro, and we are ready for you. You can jump on whenever you're able. I know you're a busy lady. We're getting ready for the campaign party, the victory campaign party. Yeah, yeah. Well, I sent the link over to you, so okay. All right. Well, come on and jump on. All right. Thanks. Bye. She's going to jump on everybody. Oh, one thing about it, we do what we can. We are a team. I really do like that about this campaign. Nathan Holloway, dude, my dude, what's going on with you? How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right so far.
I see.
I went up, and first thing, as soon as I woke up, I went to go to my polling place and I cast my vote.
Good job. See, no procrastination there. We don't want to forget. So that's why we've joined this bridge today, too. We want to encourage everyone who is in the state of Missouri to exercise your democratic right. All right, to vote. Dr. Ross, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, we hear you.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi.
Yeah, we hear you. We don't see you, but that's okay. You might have some other technical things going on there. We definitely understand because what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna jump on and off as you need to. Nathan, hang in there. Jump on and off as you need to. Dr. Ross, jump on and off as you need to. And just we're just here to encourage people to vote. Vote. The polls do close. They close at 7.
Yes.
Okay, 7 today. So, wherever you are, make sure that you can get out there to
Mhm.
your poll and vote. Whatever. Now, as far as your voter registration, if you're in Jackson County, you can go to the jcebmo.org. That's the Jackson County Election Board, or definitely just go ahead and Google whatever county you're in for the elections, and it'll get you where it is, what's going on as far as who's on the ballot, the candidates, the overview, and mainly what I saw, Nathan, and I don't know if you saw more. What I saw on the ballot was just the those that are running for particular office. Is that what you saw? I didn't see anything else or other than just those that were running for a particular office.
Well, for me, I'm out here in Raytown,
Okay.
so we have had a couple of ballot initiatives to redo the roads, redo the sewers, and have a new tax levied uh, for us in the sum of 30 cents per $100 in
Mhm.
municipalities.
Mhm.
So there are those county and city specific ballot measures that everyone needs to look out for and make sure that you know what they are all about and what they're trying to do. Because for us here in Raytown, that 30 cents tax didn't have anything it was saying it was going to.
Mm.
It didn't say, it just was a plain 30-cent tax for every $100 that you spend on municipalities.
Mm.
And for a lot of people, we don't like to just have a tax levied against us that we
Mm.
don't know where the money's going to.
Mhm. Mhm. That very good point. Very good point. So, goes out there, even if it was a good cause, and no, they haven't really made it clear about what that 30 cent tax on the $100 would be, where it would
Right.
go. So, okay. Oh, well, it probably won't pass then.
Exactly.
It probably won't pass. Well, I'm out here in Oak Grove, so that's the far east, not the
Mhm.
far east, but we it's the far east here in the greater Kansas City, Missouri area. And all I saw on my ballot. So what I did, and this is just the standard of what you do, you go up to the desk, and of course they're going to give you a pen. I didn't
Mhm.
get a pen, but they'll give you a pen because you're going to have to sign your name on some of these ballots, a little rubber thing, and it was cool. And then the pen to where you make that complete circle on this ballot that we
Yeah.
have out here. So you walk up and then you give them your information as far as, your ID and things like that. Now, I have and I didn't blur anything, but they send you, usually you get this in the mail,
Mhm.
and it's a good idea to hold on to it, and you give that to them, and it will tell you, you tell them that you want the Democratic ballot,
Mhm.
Democrat, Democrat ballot, right? And
Right.
then you go up and well, they'll like go ahead and give you a ballot. Well, you'll sign your name or something. You'll get the ballot and then you'll walk into one of the little cubes there. You'll sit down. And of course, the first thing you want to look for is that US Senate.
Mhm.
That US Senate. And Dr. Gena Ross, she's number 2.
Yes,
So
I am.
then you'll fill that in and vote, fill that in nicely there. And of course, whoever else is on the ballot. Now, what I did see, what was kind of interesting too, is that you had the committee men and committee women,
Mhm.
and there was a lot of uncontested. There wasn't very much competition. And when
Yep.
it came to, it was like, okay, you had to vote for one. Well, and then there was just only one person there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit during the campaign, and how I think it would be a good idea to exercise our right as American citizens and in the state of Missouri to kind of see what's going on and keep up with the different opportunities for people to run for some of these seats, right? Run for some of these seats that are in their local communities, their local city, uh, and make sure that it's just not just one person running. I mean, you're just giving them the election, you
Right.
know, and the committee men, committee women, those are. Seats that are important as well. And it's like, okay, you had to vote for one. Well,
Mhm.
some of it is a vote for three, but then there were only three on the ballot.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Very strange. You vote for one, but then there was only one. So why circle it in? You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna win just to win, right? Vote for three. Well, there was only three there. So very interesting. Well, Dr. Ross, it was how many of candidates were out there for the Democrats? Do we remember that? We don't care. We're just look.
Well, you
Uh,
mean
As long
the
as
11 of us?
the 11, yeah,
yeah.
okay, it was 11 Democrats running,
Mhm.
but Dr. Ross is number 2. She's
Yes.
number 2 on that ballot. So make sure you get out there. And another thing that, as far as voting is concerned, you can ask for extended lunch or time, to where you can get to vote,
Yeah.
so don't think that, okay, well, I work this job here and, but you do have the right to ask for an extended lunch or some time so that you
Yeah.
can exercise your right to vote.
And this is a very important thing is that it's a legally recognized thing that your employers have to give you time off to vote to go vote. And if they deny you that right, there are penalties and fines that they can face for not letting you go vote.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
That's good
See,
for people to know.
good for people to
Exercise their
know.
and speak up.
Mhm.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Now, Dr. Ross, now I know you went early to vote, but what's going on up there north? You were out and about in the communities. What's happening? Did you see anything interesting?
Well, when I went to pick up the cake and I was talking to people in the parking lot and in the store, they didn't even know that today was voting day. Some
Oh.
had forgotten. They were like, "Well, thanks for reminding me."
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
because a lot of people don't vote in these
Yeah.
midterm elections,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
that's
this
normal around here.
Oh boy, they didn't know that it was time to vote. Well, that's why we're here on this broadcast here. It is time to vote. This multi stream. Get out and exercise your right because you don't want to continue to get the same representation. Now, that's something that I saw. I made sure that I showed up to vote because I'm tired of this same old representation. Ooh,
Some
my
people aren't
goodness.
tired yet, though. Some
I'm
people are
tired
tired.
of it. I'm like, you can't explain to me why in the world those real estate taxes just shot up. You
Yeah.
can't tell me why. There's no record as far as why. Oh, well, you need to go. We need to get someone in there that can do an analysis for real
Mhm.
and tell us why. One thing about that people talk about inflation and everything and the cost and stuff, and the thing about being in a capitalist society when it comes to capitalism in itself, people want to throw, oh, the war in Ukraine, and these are issues that uh, as the senator representing the state of Missouri, when Dr. Ross gets to uh, her seat in Washington, she'll have the opportunity to vote and to understand different, even international things that go on. uh, international things and issues that go on, and vote for what's best for Missourians and representing Missourians in the United States Senate there. But a lot of times there people businesses use the excuse of war. This is the war in the Ukraine. This is why the prices are going up. Well, honestly speaking, price indexing is really has nothing to do with whether or not there's a war or the price of tea in China. It's
Mhm.
about really what's going on in our communities in the United States of America. And if a company decides they want to hike their prices and then give an excuse that it's because of the war in Ukraine, the bottlenecking or whatever, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, So, you get a chance to, Dr. Ross will get a chance to monitor what's going on with corporate greed.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah. See, when we're talking about democracy and the Democrats, it's more to it, and where the money meets it. Where is it? Where the rubber meets the road. We need to look and see what's really going on, and get that vote out there and draw up some legislation that's going to be good for everyone. It looks like what's happening is the gas prices went down a little bit. Did you
Yeah,
notice that?
Yeah, I
yeah, they're
noticed that.
finally like around 350 again.
Hmm. What was you saying? What were you saying, Doctor Ross?
Oh, I said, yeah, it's finally going down. Thank goodness, but it's
Mm.
not down enough.
No.
No, not down enough. So these are things, these are questions that, those that go to the Senate, they'll get to ask those hard questions and then work with legislation to where they'll get the answer. Draw up committees and talk to people. Well, let's get some real answers here. Why are the gas prices so high? What's going on with this tax? you know, that is being imposed, and nobody has anything, any reason, rhyme or reason what
Hmm.
this tax is for. It's just 30 cents on whatever. Now, that's a little bit of outside of what the U.S. Senate does as far as scope. See, now, and let's just be perfectly clear too, people, to educate people to understand what seat Dr. Ross is running for. This is Roy Blunt's old seat. He's not going to run any. Where is Roy Blunt?
Mhm.
No, where no one, he just like poof disappeared. Josh Hawley, he's out there doing his thing, whatever. But where's Roy, right? So you get two U.S. senators to represent the people in the state of Missouri. And Dr. Gena Ross is going to be actively there. We won't have to guess. We won't have to ask where she is. She's going to be there asking those questions and getting answers. What do
I'm
you
answering
think?
questions now. People keep sending questions to the website, so that's what I'm doing. I kind of hear you, but I'm responding to constituents because they're asking all kind of questions,
Okay.
and
You
I
want
respond to people.
you want to share a question that's out there, Doc?
Well, I can share some of them that I've
Yeah.
answered all of them,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
let's see. Someone had asked. Let me find one. I mean, this thing has been going like nonstop for the last 2 days.
Mm,
There was one about where do I stand in regards to helping people with disabilities and
Hmm.
developmental intellectual disabilities.
Hmm.
There's a question about um, trans rights and
Hmm.
LGBTQ, a whole lot of Roe versus Wade. Um, it's just all kind of questions.
mhm.
I mean, but there was that one question that just really made me chuckle. Um, Let me find it. I'm trying to scroll through here now because it was so many, but it was something to the fact that what would I tell somebody if they said voting for me was a waste of time,
Mm,
even though I'm a good candidate?
mhm. Let's see. I think I have that question here. Let me see here. And then I don't have the response, I don't think, but let me see
I
here.
thought, see.
Oh, okay. Here's the question. Someone sent in a question here about, hi, how would you respond to one who thinks voting for you is a waste, as in a vote that could have gone to to defeat Bush Valentine, but rather is wasted on a great candidate, but one with less of a chance to win. So this question was, Doc, they think that you have less of a chance to win. I
Yep.
wonder why that is, huh?
Oh, cause that's because of the media. And someone else asked a question too. Why did they just find out about me today on the ballot? I'm like, well, the media is biased. I've been
Mhm, mhm,
campaigning since 2021,
Yeah.
and so if people would have been paying attention back then, they would have seen I was out there. I was the only woman running in. It was me and the guys when Scott Sifton was still in the race.
mhm,
I was on the campaign trail early. But
mhm,
this is a grassroots campaign, and if people want you to come to more places, then they should support. The website has a donation button to Act Blue, but I wasn't going to sit and beg people, and
mhm,
I know
mhm,
it's a hard time for people, so I really understand that.
mhm,
But I just keep it real, and I just don't try to fake or perpetrate. But for someone, I think whoever asked that, they're used to business as usual. So they go off the politics with who raises the most money or who has the most money. But those aren't always the best candidates. So you need
Right.
to vote politically mature.
Yeah.
Vote for what's going to represent and benefit you, your future, your family, your loved ones. If not, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And that's what I always call insanity. How are you going to get different results? And what I said to them was people vote, not money. You can have money all day long. But if people go to the polls, then those votes should count.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. The what we did notice, and this is one thing about the campaign, that there's a new way to communicate, and this was already proven based on you running for Congress, Dr. Ross, in that people are paying attention. The younger constituency, they are paying attention to
Mhm.
voting. They're using a different form of media, whether it's the Twitter, whether it's Facebook, just social media per se. So you were able to get the word out and do that. And I think that that's something that we continued on with this campaign, because when you're wanting to do television is still very expensive, in that, the minutes, the timing, and as far as based on the fundraising, we weren't going to be silenced. Okay, just as working with the campaign, we weren't going to be silenced just because we didn't get the millions of dollars coming in, right? To where we could afford the television commercials.
That's bondage where people think they can control you with that stuff. That stuff don't stop me.
Mhm,
No
mhm,
one's not going to stop me from what I know I need to do.
mhm,
Where
mhm,
there's a will, there's a way.
mhm,
Mhm.
And I like communicating with people.
mhm,
Yeah.
So you just can't stop me.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, so we weren't going to, be just because the campaign funds weren't coming in big like some, they were, bragging they had raised millions of dollars,
But I'm
more
rich
than a
in
million.
spirit. I'm rich in
And,
spirit.
and yes, so if you're really wanting to do something for your country, you're wanting to, and this is proven, this is something, this showed that you really want to be in and given the opportunity to be a voice for the people. You weren't going to let money stop you in that.
No,
And, we use the tools that we have, and there's still tools. And I think even moving forward, it's still going to be a force to reckon with, and that social media is going to be a force to reckon with. My question is who watches TV? A lot of us are streaming. We do a
Mhm.
lot of streaming. We do the, different media streams or whatever platforms. I know I have a couple of different platforms that I stream. I'm saying Roku. You got the Fire Sticks. You got all kinds, right? So for me to turn on my television, even when it comes to the news gets kind of depressing sometimes. So I might not even watch the news per se in that way. I want alternative news. And that's me working to educate myself about what else is happening that the real commercial or the media, that the usual media, they're just sharing what is just a hot topic for the day that media has agreed to share, right? But I want to know what's alternative. I want to know what other people are thinking. What are other groups thinking? So I do a little bit of alternative media, not just turning on the television and getting the network media their opinion. And, what I noticed was that during the news, that's where they were plugging a lot of those campaign commercials. They were plugging them in around the news because honestly, I think people are getting it. People aren't watching TV, but they'll turn on the TV to watch the news, right? So, anyway, I did notice that. And I think that we still ran the campaign, a good one, in that
Without garbage. Because
with,
yesterday was my first time to actually sit down, turn my TV on, and look at the news because someone had told me to look at the news. They said I saw your name go across, and when I turned it on, all I seen was commercials of bashing people, just bashing one another. I said, "This is so pathetic,
hmm
so pathetic."
hmm Yeah, I mean, candidate bashing has been that's the norm,
But
But
abnormal to me,
yeah,
because you shouldn't have to tear somebody down if you're confident in who you are. Let
hmm
people vote for who they want to without you, defaming somebody.
hmm
That's just
Well,
not right.
I agree. And here's the thing too. There's some truth to some of the smear, right?
Yeah, there's some truth to some.
There's some truth to some of the smear.
True.
Uh and I understand that, but what I want to hear is what are our candidates, the candidate that I'm looking to vote for. I want to be educated about that candidate. Not from their competitor per se, and but I want to be able to go out there on the website. I think we did well, Doc. I
Well,
don't care. I think you did well on the website.
wait, let
It's
me find this question that I was asked last night because you just made me think about it. It was someone asking if they did not vote for me, what candidate did I think that they should vote for?
what?
Yep, well, I'm looking for it right now because I sure did get asked that question. And then someone else had said they liked my website, but my website wasn't like one of my other candidates. And I said, well, he's a nice guy. So, I think they were looking to see if I was going to bash someone. I'm
Mhm.
looking for
Mhm.
this. I'm trying to find this. Oh my goodness, because you guys will laugh at this. Come on. Oh, and then someone asked today what happened to the Black Kansas City magazine endorsement. I'm like, it's still there.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, we fought to try to keep that on top of where that Black Kansas City mag was. We wanted to make sure that Dr. Ross's information was on top, and
it moves.
we
It's
we did our best, with it, but I don't know what happened with that. We'll just have to.
when I let one person help, stuff
Mhm,
switched around, and I don't know what happened to it.
mhm.
But it's there. I found it today, but it was like way, 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 way down to the bottom.
Oh, okay, I
But it's
see.
there. Okay,
That
I
was
found the email now. If I
okay.
didn't vote for you, who would you recommend for senator?
That's a setup question.
Well,
Oh,
and this, but
I'm,
this
I'm
is
gonna say.
what I
I'm just
said.
gonna say. I mean, I'm not being critical, but you got to think about that question. I'm gonna say it like my grandbaby says. How rude.
And but this is what I said.
Mhm.
I said it depends on what you value most. I said there's so much needed, and we need people that are genuinely passionate about representing all people and not just in the race for fame, power, and fortune. I said a few of my opponents are that way. I said they really care. And then I said it again, a few of my opponents really care. And I said a few of us candidates without the money and media agree to help one another. If one of us win, I said we are not attacking one another. And so they thanked me, and then they said they were more concerned about climate change. So in regards to climate change, then I told them that Pat Kelly, that's running for U.S. Senate, his focus is on climate change. If they haven't checked him out,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they
Right.
actually wrote back and they said thank you,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they appreciated me responding to them because they wanted to see how I was going to respond. I didn't bash anybody.
That's interesting. That is so interesting, and that's not a bad thing, because we as Americans, we do. There's a lot going on in the world, a whole lot, and this seat, yes, addresses issues in Missouri, to represent in the Washington D.C. in the Senate, but this seat is really important so that the voice and how Missourians would want to vote and be concerned with an issue will be well represented, and that's this Senate seat is a voice there. So just to kind of know when it comes to climate change, that would be something that would be continue to poll on it, email the constituency, ask them, what's your opinion on it? How do you feel about it? What do you think? And then to also keep and educate the constituency on what's being done for alternative energy, right? And to make the people aware about what's being done with alternative energy. There are, if you are a homeowner, there are, uh, where you put the things on the roof.
Yeah, solar
Solar
panel.
energy,
Yep.
solar
Solar
panels. And
panel.
see, this is a government, and see, there's government tax write-offs for homeowners that choose to go that route. You know what I'm saying? So that there are things already engaged in the federal government. And this is where the senator would also educate themselves and then maintain the communication link to let the constituency know that there's tax opportunities, tax write-off opportunities for those that have homes and choose to invest in solar panels. Now, granted, when we're talking about the issue of climate change and global warming, the industry has already, to change the technology. See, I'm a tech person, right? So you go from one platform, and it's simple as that. You go from one platform to another. If you're going to change, say for instance, you're going to change and go from Windows to a Mac platform. Let's just keep it simple. But all of your programming is written in a Windows platform, to be supported by Windows. Well, that would be kind of challenging. And that's kind of where our energy resources, they're all built on fossil fuels and the types of energy that we already generate. So to move to another platform is the challenge when it comes to climate change. You want to move to a cleaner energy so that it's not causing the global warming issue, right? And that's the challenge. So businesses have to invest in changing the way that energy is produced and how they produce their products and services and what they're using. So if you have a big refinery, and if you think, what's it gonna is it gonna run on solar panels? No, it's running. These old refineries are running on the usual energy, right?
Mhm.
So the challenge becomes to get business to also change the way that they produce. Now, where are our factories now? Nathan?
Well, it depends on the industry and it depends on the sector that you're talking about. For a vast majority, our factories are not here in the United States.
They're not here, are they?
They are mostly in Southeast Asia and Mexico, South America, and parts of Africa,
Mhm.
as long as Western Europe. And there are some, though a small portion, that are still here in America.
Mhm. And some that are in China too. I mean, because we're dealing with imports and well, I guess what you're talking about the area, Asia.
Mhm.
Yeah. So here again. So the way that things are produced, our factories aren't even here for us to say, okay, we're gonna really, strongly encourage through legislation, big business to make sure that they are producing in a way to where it is not destroying the atmosphere.
Right.
Um, and another thing too, now here locally, when we're talking about energy and everything, electricity, what are we running as far as our electricity? We're nuclear energy. I think we
Mhm.
have a nuclear power plant that is one that really generates the energy in our area here in Missouri. I don't know how much of that nuclear power plant, how much of Missouri it actually generates energy for, but nuclear energy is still one of the cleanest forms of energy.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's a lot to energy and generating energy, but we're looking at, okay, climate change. What's causing this? And the way that we're hearing is that it's caused by the energy that we use to produce goods.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just one issue though, guys,
Yeah,
right?
this is
So
a whole lot, but I'm gonna hop
mhm.
off because I this thing is dinging and I need to get myself ready for the party. I'm ready to eat.
you
So y'all can talk about climate change, everything else. I'm about to breathe.
Okay, well, go do it. But
I will
but
see
well, we're
y'all.
just encouraging everyone,
Yeah,
just as an
yeah.
FYI, let people know. Look,
Oh
these
yeah,
are
no, you're
issues that
good.
they're
You're good.
international issues,
Right.
and this candidate, Dr. Gena Ross, is fully aware to think internationally, guys. That's the whole point. This is an international concern. So your climate change issue is international. And yes, as far as the candidate that can handle it, Dr. Ross can handle it. Bye, sis. Go
Bye.
do
See
what you
y'all in
need
a
to
little
do.
while.
All
All
right.
right. We'll
Then.
see
Nathan.
you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, those are, that's a good question and everything. What else is going on with us here?
Uh, well, talking about here with us just in Missouri or just us here in the United States?
Well, either way, because the point is that our candidate, when you're talking about this U.S. Senate, that it gets a vote for international support, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
she gets to vote internationally about things that matter. So it doesn't matter if it's local or not, but I think that even more on an international scale, at whatever, locally or international, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, there is new things going on with Russia and Ukraine with the exportation of grain
Hmm.
that is being facilitated by um, with help from us here in America and our Congress, as well as the legislative bodies in Western Europe and other parts of the world. Um,
Hmm.
in
Yeah, that's something to think about. What's going on with so the prices? I think that there's been a concern about food. The food pricing is
yes,
going up. Uh, the price fixing or adjusting, everybody's adjusting, saying that it's an inflation thing, right? I think that people are just jumping on the bandwagon. I'm just going to say, because when you're talking about prices, there, I understand that you get the price, and then based on what you pay for something, it depends on how much you had to pay, and then therefore this is where you're going to set your price. So if it costs you more, your price, it's going to be affected by the pricing. But I
Right.
think that there's a lot that's here that isn't really something that has to be imported per se.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of storage, grain storages. There's a lot of backup. There's a lot to where it's already available to where people don't have to, or companies don't have to go outside and be victims, whatever, of price increase
Hmm.
and so that they're trying to get what they need to get
Yeah.
to develop whatever they sell,
Yeah.
right? I
And
think
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you go ahead. Sure.
Well, I was just going to say, because this is kind of our own doing, right?
Mm,
Because we look at other countries around the world and they stockpile. They have national reserves for their grains, for their food, for their non-perishable items or items that can be preserved for long times. Other
mhm,
countries have big stockpiles of all these foods, and it keeps prices relatively low. When the private sector is facing these insecurities and these measures that need to, it costs more. So, things cost more. There's less to go around. That's when these federal reserves, these national reserves come in and help undercut that and make sure everything is more at an even price. But we as Americans, we don't have these giant national reserves of food because we tell our farmers to go ahead and throw away all this perfectly good food, to do
mhm.
away with it because they can't sell it.
Sell it.
Yeah,
Mhm,
because they can't sell it because it's all about making a profit and it's all
mhm.
about making as much money as you can. We have so much food. We waste millions, almost billions of pounds of food every year
Mhm.
just because we can't sell it. When we could stockpile that food, turn it into preservatives, and in cases like this, give it out to the populace when there is global financial food insecurity,
Mhm.
and or help placate the number of people who go hungry and are of malnutrition, not just around the world, but here
Right here
in
in the United
America.
States. Yeah.
Our poor
Mhm,
communities, our urban
mhm,
communities, our rural communities, they
mhm.
don't get enough food because they live in food deserts.
Food deserts, fresh food, and I think is
Mhm.
something that's really important. The fresh food, and then the control factor. I definitely agree with that. That there's a control factor. A control factor when it comes to the seed that the farmer actually uses
Oh, yeah.
to plant the genetically modified seed that the farmer uses to plant, and how that seed doesn't even reproduce itself. We talk
Yeah.
about the watermelon. Back in the day, we would spit watermelon seeds. That was a that was a sport, right? But you had watermelon seeds that you could spit. Nowadays you don't have them, unless that's what kind of watermelon you claim to buy. But it just doesn't, anything that doesn't produce itself, you have seeds to where they could actually produce themselves, you could continue to grow. See, that to me is a red flag, for even the food industry. They're hollering food shortages. Well, yeah, there's a food shortage if that seed that you're using to plant is being controlled and genetically modified to grow in a special way that requires something, from Russia. What is it that Russia?
I think it's a pesticide
Yes,
or a special kind of fertilizer.
So Russia's doing this is what they're saying. All right. But anyway, these are things, these are real questions. These are, when you're hollering food shortages, this is something that your candidate would need to be aware of, right? And really would need to look to hold legislation and government accountable for providing solutions for that.
Yeah.
And I think that our candidate is really going to be on top of that and definitely do it. I don't hear much else from the others, but I'm not really focusing on them. I'm
Mm.
focusing on educating myself
Right.
about what I'm concerned about for my family, my children, my
Mhm.
grandchildren, right? Because I'm there, and what kind of world are they going to have, um,
Yeah.
to live in. The economy is something, that's part of the economy, the food economy. They're hollering food shortages, the global warming situation, uh, w- and energy. Well, that's something else. And there's just so much to think about when it comes to community.
Yeah.
And I think that it definitely, it starts with getting people in these positions, these legislative positions that will make a difference, and not just the same old promises.
Mhm.
Guys, if you put a candidate in and they always say, okay, well, we only have 4 years to do this, whether you're president or whatever, 2 years to do that. And, you put a candidate in and they run in two, they have to rerun and be voted in every 2 years or whatever. Hold their feet to the fire. There's things, food deserts to me. If there's still a food desert for my local congressman is has been this congressman for years, for more than a
Mhm.
decade, and
Right.
I'm still dealing with the food desert.
Right.
you know I don't see any co-ops, food co-ops, or pop up to where it
Mhm.
will work. All I'm seeing is harvesters come in, bring in something, and yay, harvesters, you know what I'm saying? But I can't go to the store within my community to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. See, this is the Congress, this is local stuff
Yeah.
too. And if they're not making a difference, get them out of there
Yeah.
and put people in who will make a difference.
Yeah.
You can't find your senator. Where's your senator representing you in the US Senate? You can't find them? Huh? Ge- Why do they have to I- he's not going to run anymore. That's why we get an opportunity, right? That
Mhm.
makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And please take this time to, we are advocating for the U.S. Senate for
Mhm.
Dr. Gena Ross for this
Mhm.
position, but make sure if you haven't voted already,
Mhm.
go and check out every other person that's going for that election in your county, in your city, that's going to be on your ballot. Check them out. Make sure that they're going to be there for you, trying to help fix these problems. And if they are just going to be those same people that we were talking about earlier that are just running unopposed and they've been there for 6, 8 years, go ahead, look up their past promises and check if they've done that. And
Mhm.
if not, go ahead, like Ann said, put their feet to the fire. Make sure that they know we haven't forgotten what they promised us.
Mhm. And that they have the job, whether they promised it or not. Okay, maybe it wasn't brought to their attention, right? And
Mhm.
so we as Americans, we should be also held accountable and responsible. Things aren't good. Okay, who can fix this? Oh, this senator, this committee woman, this committee man, this person, that person. Find out who does what
Mhm.
and make a difference. Make sure that they are doing what they need to do. Vote for them in that way. Oh boy, I tell you, it's something. It's really amazing how we are here again, another vote, very important vote. Now, this US Senate position is a 6-year term. So
Yeah.
it's very important, guys.
Hmm.
6 years, that's quite a while. That's more than 2 years. That's more than 4 years. So if you get a crappy president, okay, you can deal with him for 4 years. But when you're looking at this Senate, that vote, you're looking at 6 years.
Yep.
Okay. So let's think. Do we want someone who's already maybe is it kind of shady on the
Hmm.
promises of what they're saying, already looking, well, they may seem okay here but not okay there, they're not really for all people. Look at the candidate. Look at the candidate. Is the candidate for all people? Does the candidate have a well-rounded ideal of what it's going to take, for the state of Missouri, but the state of Missouri, international ideas that will, so when the vote comes around, then they'll be able to vote accordingly. Uh, those are questions, right? Because you're looking at 6 years, you're going to be stuck with this candidate. You're going to
Hmm.
be stuck with this person in this position, you know. So what is it? And then too, who's to say? Let's get off of this. Okay, well, we're just going to go where the money, or here's something that kind of hit us and we were very disappointed. There are groups in PACs, political action committees, and groups that the demographic look to, right? So if you're African American, this group you in the past has had a historical idea of who the best candidate is. Well, history doesn't mean it's happening now, right? So they're not, whoever they claim that they're endorsing, if that person is not for all people, you need to check them out. You need to continue to look for that candidate that is going to speak for all people, because you're going to be stuck with them for six years. Don't go on, oh well, let's see whether what this committee is saying or that group is saying. I always vote based on what who this group says to vote for. That's not good. That's a sellout, because you're going to get tricked and you're going to
Hmm.
get duped, and you're going to keep getting the same lazy politician that does nothing but get a check, talk smack, go in the back room to see what his next marching orders are, hmm, can be bought,
Yeah.
you know, see, go in the back room and see what he's supposed to say next, then
Hmm.
come out and sell you down river, sell you up river, sell you out, right? So it's time out for all that. That's why I believe our country is in the state that it's in. We are letting someone else live our lives instead of us actively living our lives, being a part of all of what life has for us, including this right to vote and to vote for the right candidate, as opposed to just following what someone else said to do. You can't trust everyone's word. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm here to make sure that people are aware that, look, we need to make sure that people are in this for the real deal, and not just for another sellout back room to collect a check, all of that. And like Nathan was saying, Nate, you're right on time with this. Let's just not do the business as usual. Investigate. And we've said this before. Let's investigate. But I think by now you already kind of have an idea. And yes, your best candidate for the Missouri U.S. Senate
Hmm.
is Dr. Gena Ross. She is your best candidate, most definitely. Well, we're going to go ahead, and we said we were going to hang out. I think we hung out well. I
Hmm.
don't have anything else to show. Uh, right now?
Yeah, I don't have much else either.
All right. Okay. So go vote, guys.
Mhm.
Go vote. Go vote. Go
Get your
vote.
free pen. Get your stickers if your polling place has it.
That's right. The pen. And the pen that I've been voting with this pen. I got this pen. They gave it to you during COVID.
Hmm.
When we were still having elections, you still were having elections during COVID. So the pen, I think I didn't kind of wore it out a little bit. That little rubber tip is coming off.
Oh
So
no.
so next election I'll get a new one because I brag about I just gotta have my own pen. So here's my pen. But I think the little rubber tip is coming off of it. It's not doing as well as it was when I first got it. So definitely go vote. Definitely go vote. And check out if you need to, still have some questions, go ahead and check out the website,
Oh yeah.
rossforussenate.com. Let me just show that to you. Uh, ussenate.com. Yeah. So I'm just going to share that. We'll share that and you get a good look at, let's see, share. Yeah, definitely. If you still have any questions about Dr. Gena Ross, and she's out there, that rossforussenate.com, and you want to pop a question in. See, this is well, she jumped off the bridge because she's running this. People are
Mhm.
still sending questions over. They're still out there. And most definitely, we're saying that we're looking forward to the count
Oh yeah.
where Dr. Ross wins this thing.
Hmm.
Yes, we're looking forward to her winning today. And this candidate, she's paving the way for change for real, not just to say it, but the platform is out there, is out here. So, any other questions that you have as far as the platform, the issues are there listed, uh, and everything. So, you got that going on. Other videos are out there that you got a few minutes to look through those too, and just go for it. We're out here, we're here, we're going to be uh, kind of around, and definitely when you go out to the website, you want to ping that website. We're monitoring it, and we're going to definitely look forward to that winning vote, that she is going to move on to the general election. This is
Hmm.
just the primary,
Yep.
but this is your best candidate, Dr. Gena Ross for U.S. Senate. She's the best candidate. Integrity and sustainability, accountability. Yep. So you got that going. And she's got blogs out here that are good too. If you have any other questions about where she stands on issues, they're out there as well. Go vote. Go
Yep.
vote.
Remember, you still have 3.5 hours. Poll
You
close at 6
still,
o'clock.
yeah, you still have 3.5 hours. And don't let the time go by where the line gets long
Hmm.
too. And if the line gets long, you get in line anyway, because once you get in line, they will let you vote.
Yes.
So,
It is not against the law for them. It is against the law for them to deny you the right to vote. You can stand in line, and even if it goes past 7, because you're standing in line, you will still get to vote.
all right. Good, good, good. All right. Well, if you have any questions, just meet us out there on the website, and we'll be out there answering questions. And see my t-shirt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ross for U.S. Senate. Yeah. So just know that exercise your right. This is we're a Democratic Republic here. in the United States of America. And your vote does matter. It
Yep.
does make a difference. It is important. And you'll see results if we're consistent with this and vote for the right people, the right candidates, as opposed to just because they show up and they have a lot of money. That money hasn't gotten us anywhere.
Oh,
That,
is that money in your pocket or is
yeah,
it in their pocket?
yeah, that money hasn't gotten us anywhere. So, let's vote for people that are for people and not for their pocket or whatever, because they have a lineage or heritage of having that's somebody else's money.
Hmm.
Let's see what we can do to be a blessing to our future uh, family, and vote for someone that definitely cares. All right, I'm gonna let you go.
All
We'll see
right.
you later, Nathan.
Let's see you guys later.
When I'm walking.
I'm Dr. Gena Ross, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Missouri. I'm good trouble because people are my first priority. I will stay true to all people as I stay true to myself. I'm unbossed, unbought, and unbiased, paving the way for change. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or go to my website, rossforusenate.com. We're better together, building a better tomorrow beginning today. Business as usual is no longer acceptable, and feel free to make a contribution. No dollar amount is too small. Thank you very much.
That'll be you, that'll be me, and that'll be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a liberty in